Hello my Beatles friends, welcome back to another video. This is a unusual video for me. I want to copy another video which I saw on YouTube by another YouTuber, which is called Classic Album Review. Great channel by the way, and he did a wonderful video which I really liked, and I want to make the same video. So it's a little shout out to his channel. And he had a video a couple of days ago, 10 most treasured items in his collection. And I said, hey, I got the same. So I want to show you my 10 treasured items. The items which are in my music collection, which are unique for me, cannot be reproduced, cannot be bought, cannot be replaced. These are one of a kind for me. Maybe some of them you can buy, and they're not that very expensive. They are very important for me. A great memory. So I will try to make this video as short as possible. I will show you all my 10, maybe 11 items and brief story behind them. Okay? So, before that, if you could like this video or comment or subscribe, I will be really, really happy. So, the first item that I want to show is not Beatles related. I mean, I think first 4 items will not be Beatles related. Then it will be mostly Beatles related because I'm a Beatles collector. Number 10, I'd like to show you this tour program from King Crimson concert that me and my brother attended in Utrecht in 2016. And also we bought this unique CD box, DVD and CD and whatever. So these were the normal merchandise items that you buy in the merchandise booth or whatever you want to call it. But there was a very unique item, one of a kind and only one copy, nothing else. And it's a signed item, and I said I want to buy it. There were a lot of people, but somehow I got lucky. I am talking about this drum. Drum cover signed by 3 drummers. And unfortunately one of them is already passed away. And I've never seen anything like that after that. So this is the unique, one of a kind, a beautiful item that already 10 years is hanging on my wall. So huge that I cannot even place in the frame. Yeah, this one. So it's signed by 3 drummers of King Crimson. And another item with King Crimson I want to show. This is the CD called Stickman plus Midori. This one is signed by Tony Levine or Levine. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm sorry if I make a mistake. But Tony Levine, as I call him, he played on John Lennon's 2 last albums, Double Fantasy and Milk and Honey. And this CD is signed by him. It was obtained by my brother. So this was number 10. Number 9. In 2024, quite recently, I went to Bratislava to attend Starr festival, music and astrophysics festival, and the opening concert of that festival was a concert called Bridge from a Future by Michel Jarre. Now my only goal was to meet Brian May, which I will be talking about later. And the next day when I went to the venue to meet Brian May, actually, I accidentally saw Jean-Michel Jarre. And this is the result. This is Oxygen album. I don't know if you can see the autograph here. This is the autograph. And he didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. He saw me. He saw the album in my hands. He just approached me, took a pen and started to write. Now the pen was ballpoint pen and he didn't write first. So he had to make some gibberish on the cover, put it on his knee. Yeah, it was very funny. And then he signed. We didn't have time to make a picture because his security took him away, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. I'm happy that I have this Jean-Michel Jarre a personal autograph that I took it from him, which was absolutely unexpected, and I didn't even think about it. But you know, it's a lucky, happy accident. Luck. Number 8. Another signed album cover, but this was already was a hunted one. I said I want to have as many possible autographs from Rolling Stones family as I can. So in 2017, I went to Düsseldorf and I met Mick Taylor, Chuck Leavell, Bernard Fardo, and Lisa Fischer. And the rest of the band was just impossible to meet. 1 year later, in 2018, when they were in Paris, they had 3 shows in Paris, I managed to meet Charlie Watts, the great Charlie Watts. The rest of the 3 were also impossible to meet, but Charlie Watts was coming out of the hotel into his car and he saw us, he approached us, he took a pen, he signed, he said thank you, and then he smiled and slowly walked away. True gentleman. Rest in peace, Charlie Watts. A great memory and a great autograph. And in 2023, in November, I went to London to meet Bill Wyman because he had a book signing event. He signed on his 2 books and here. So on this cover, on this black and blue album cover, I have 3 autographs by 3 members of Rolling Stones, Mick Taylor, Charlie Watts, and Bill Wyman. Although Mick Taylor doesn't play on his album, but he was a guest musician in the show, so he agreed to sign this one. Maybe, who knows, I will be lucky to meet 3 others. I actually saw Mick Jagger, but the security told me not to approach and not to even try anything, so they pushed me away like that with an elbow, so it doesn't count. I don't have no picture and not autograph. This was number 8. Number 7. My goal in Bratislava was actually fulfilled. I met Brian May in person. I have a picture with him and he signed this Show Must Go On single cover. That was the most important thing for me because Show Must Go On was one of the first songs by Queen that I heard. And during the festival he declined a couple of times because there were other people. It was packed with celebrities. And then when it was over and people were going home, you see the empty venue here. He was surrounded by people and he already couldn't decline. But after that, naturally, we didn't go home. We stayed there. And the security saw us. And then security told him to come out again to give us last autographs so we can go home. And the result is this one. Night at the Opera album signed by Brian May and dedicated to me and to my wife. So my trip to Bratislava was very, 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 very successful. Okay, let's move on. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7. Number 6. A very unique item, personally for me, a great memory from a childhood. On July the 7th, 1989, when I was 7 years old, I was gifted this book. This is my first ever book in my life that has anything to do with the Beatles. And this is a translation from German because it was written by Gottfried Schmiedel, and this book which was released in Eastern Germany, Eastern Berlin, and it was translated to Russian and issued in Soviet Union. In 1990 we put those glue strips on the cover to save it, but 30 years later it dried out and fell apart. So this is the unique item, a first ever book in my collection by the Beatles. Number 5, how it all began. This is A Hard Day's Night, a Soviet issue on Melodia label, and this one actually was printed in Georgia, Tbilisi, in my hometown. And this is the first ever album bought by my mother that has anything to do with the Beatles. This is the first ever Beatles album in my collection. I grew up on this album, and it's in a trash condition, and it's a very bad condition, but it is what it is, and I will never part with this item. Number 2 is this album, which is A Taste of Honey. This album came a bit later, but still, these are the 2 albums that I grew up. Later, when my family, already saw that I'm becoming a real Beatles fan, my aunt, who actually bought this album in 1981, 1 year before I was born, this is a love songs issued in Bulgaria on Bulgandon label, and it was exported from Bulgaria to Soviet Union, so she managed to buy this one, and she gave it to me, and ever since I have it in my collection. This is the exact copy that I was given in 1989. And the last item in this category, which was released in late 89, it is the Back in USSR album, which was issued specifically in Soviet Union, and this is a Georgian pressing from Tbilisi. So these 4 albums is actually the origin how this, what you see here, how it began. This was number 5. Number 4, we're getting closer. My first ever concert of Paul McCartney. This is the tour program Summer '04. 1 year before that, my brother attended the concert in Earl's Court in London, which is back in the world, but I couldn't attend, and I actually do have his tickets. That's the ticket which my brother attended, and this is the tour program that my brother brought. But I couldn't attend that show, so a year later I went to Paris and Stade de France, and I saw Paul McCartney there. So my dream came true, and I actually have the original ticket. And this is the original ticket from 2004, not 24, 4, like 21 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So this is a great memory and a treasured item in my collection. This is the first ever show out of 9 shows that I've seen Paul McCartney live. Number 3, we're getting to the very, very top. Number 3, one of the Paul McCartney concerts that I attended, it was the 3rd one in 2011 in Köln. I wanted just to gain the access to the arena, and I had a ticket somewhere on top, standing ticket, which I couldn't see the stage. But I noticed that some places near the stage are actually empty. So I sneaked and I sat randomly somewhere. And lucky for me, one guy sat right beside me. And this guy turned out to be Klaus Voorman. Now, this is the original ticket signed by Klaus Voorman. This is me and Klaus Voorman in a hallway after he left the show. He left the show in the middle. But the treasured item, the most treasured item here is this original revolver cover signed by Klaus twice. First he signed here, and 1 year later when I visited him again in his house in Germany, I told him, can you please dedicate it and write here my name? And he said, for Yakov, best wishes, Klaus Voorman. So I have 2 autographs on 1 cover. So right here you see 3 autographs by Klaus. I have another 4 on 3 books, and also I have John Lennon's CD insert also signed by him, and I have another picture also signed by Klaus. This is John Lennon's Plastic Ono Band CD insert signed by Klaus. So this is autograph number 4, and I have, like I said, another 3 autographs on the books. Number 2, the great Ringo Starr. After he announced in 2008 that he doesn't sign autographs anymore, I said I need to have his autograph, and I purchased these 2. This is a black and white picture of the young Beatles in Liverpool signed by Ringo in 2005. And also I have here a little insert where Ringo wrote the Beatles. So this is not actually an autograph, but it's him writing the Beatles. Okay, so this is treasured item specifically for me. It's not dedicated to me, but I've never seen this picture signed by Ringo again. Also in category number 2, I want to show you one item which I previously shown here on my channel, but I want to briefly mention it again. This is a very unique one. This is an airline menu, Qantas airline menu, signed by John Lennon and George Harrison in 1968. Now, I'm not going to open this one because it's sealed, but I will leave a link to that video in the description section below and somewhere here on top. And the most prized possession in my collection, something that I will never part with, just like the others, something that I got personally from the guy himself, my Paul McCartney's personal autograph. I don't want to take it off the wall, so I'm gonna take you with me to my wall. So here we are. This is my Paul McCartney autograph, dedicated to me and my brother. And this actually is me meeting Paul McCartney in person. What a memory that is. So that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you like this video. Comment and tell me what are your prized possessions in your collection. And thanks to Classic Album Review channel and his video. I really like this channel. Once again, a little shout out. So thank you very much for watching, and I see you in my next video.